Play ball! That's pretty much all I had for this one. Okay, the next part of my not Disney collection is the documentary Baseball, a story by Ken Burns, which covers the history of America's pastime from its earliest inception in the 1840s and 50s all the way to the present as of the early 90s. So, it's not really up to date, but they have done updates to it. Now, this is, to me, one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. And it's not just because I'm a huge baseball fan, but it's also because, as you can see, each of these is split into two different images. This is the first image, and the back image, just for the sake of argument, in case you're wondering, is this from the 1986 World Series. The box that I keep them in is a little busted, and it was like that when I bought it, but you know what? This documentary is good enough that I could deal with a bit of a busted box. Like I said, it's all separated into the history of baseball. This is mostly about baseball's origins, how it developed in the United States, and the first few superstars of the game, like Cy Young and Cap Anson, and basically just the origins of the game. In fact, let me do it this way, make things easier on us. And it was originally just America's game at this point, so yeah. Actually, we'll just put you over here. Oh, no, and I flubbed everything up perfectly. Amazing. Ugh. Whatever. Alright, we'll put you there. Next up, the second inning. The second inning is mostly, well, you can see there's Ty Cobb here, but it's also mostly about how baseball became a real league. The introduction of the World Series, players like Ty Cobb and Christy Mathewson, and the great manager John McGraw. And this was basically where the modern baseball league we have today was beginning to take its roots. Because back in the first part, it was mostly how we were just unorganized barnstorming leagues and stuff like that. Now, before I knock this over a second time, let's just... Actually, you know what? Better yet, I have a better idea. We'll just do it like this from now on. So, first inning, second inning. The third inning focuses mostly on the 1910s. How baseball was interrupted by the First World War. A bunch of new introductions to it. The introduction of a certain player by the name of Babe Ruth, but they go more about him in the next part. As well as the Chicago White Sox Black Sox scandal of the World Series, where they threw it just to make themselves a little extra change. Flip you over. There you go. I actually like this one because the movie that it's based on, or the movie that's based on it, 8 Men Out, is one of my all-time favorite movies. Yes, I'm a big baseball fan. You're just gonna have to deal with it. From the stories of Shoeless Joe Jackson, we go to Babe Ruth. The Sultan of SWAT and, well, the singular reason the New York Yankees are an actually decent franchise in baseball. Babe Ruth literally saved baseball after the White Sox scandal. And he's probably, like they said, the best known athlete in professional sports. When you think of baseball, you think of Babe Ruth. You think of that. Like, you could think of a bunch of different players for football, and I guess hockey and basketball have Gretzky and Jordan, but Babe Ruth... Oh, hello. A print date? Can't really read it. Looks like it says December 8th. But either way, I think it's just a processing number. And this mostly just covers Babe Ruth and the resurgence of the New York Yankees as a baseball team. And of course, well, the rest is history when it comes to that. The fifth inning covers mostly the Negro Leagues. In case you don't know, Major League Baseball was segregated to have a Negro League for African American and non-white players, and Major League Baseball for white players. And while we have players like Joe DiMaggio and Bob Feller making their appearances here, it's mostly about the Negro Leagues. And to be fair, they deserved it. The Negro League players are some of the most unspoken of heroes of baseball, including Josh Gibson, who many people say, when they saw him play, was better than, or at least as good as Babe Ruth. And the guy on the screen, I believe, on the main thing, I believe is Satchel Paige. I could be wrong, but it looks like it's Satchel Paige. And, of course, that would be Cap Anson, Ty Cobb, Joe Jackson, Babe Ruth, and Satchel Paige. I literally just said it. Way to go, genius. The next inning is in the 1940s, how baseball was again interrupted by war. This time World War II with the Nazis and the Japanese. And we got still Joe DiMaggio, Ted Williams, but the biggest and most important event to happen in this decade was the integration of baseball and the arrival of one Jackie Robinson. Now, Jackie Robinson, is, I'd imagine, is a name you guys have probably heard of. Just a wee bit. I have an idea that you guys might have heard of him. No, it's not. Oh, no, it is. September 8th, 1994. Nice. Just when the baseball World Series just got canceled. That's rather ominous, but hey, what you gonna do? All right, let's move one of these down because one of these is gonna have to go on top of the others. Next up is the 1950s, which was basically about all the World Series that took place in the 50s, which mostly involved the New York teams. The New York Giants, the Brooklyn Dodgers, and of course the Yankees. Jackie Robinson, Roy Campanella, Willie Mays, Don Larson. And it unfortunately ends with... that's Mickey Cochran? Looked like Mickey Mantle. It is Mickey Mantle. What the hell? Why would you say it's Mickey Cochran? Oh, Mickey Cochran's on the spine. Okay. Whatever. Let's put you here. This one's also a good one. It is interesting to know because my grandpa used to tell me all the time about how sad it was when the Dodgers, because he was a big-time Dodger fan growing up, how the Dodgers moved to Los Angeles, which is where they are now. And it's a pity. But we got Cap Anson, Ty Cobb, Joe Jackson, Babe Ruth, Satchel Paige, Jackie Robinson, and Mickey Mantle. The 60s will have, as I move the ninth inning one down, I almost said Steve Koufax. Sandy Koufax. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. The 1960s was basically about how change was impacting both America and baseball at the same time. As we had the civil rights movement, we had expansion in the league, the New York Mets, my Mets, the Angels, among many other teams, had their starts in the 60s. We also had Roger Maris breaking Babe Ruth's home run record, a title which he would hold until the steroid-infused freaks of Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and Barry Bonds would break it. And most of the 60s was dominated by pitching. You had Bob Gibson coming out and pitching well, but the biggest story was Sandy Koufax, who, my God, was just too good. For that 5-year stretch he had in the early 60s, he was literally the best player, one of the best pitchers in baseball history. It is absolutely breathtaking to behold. And the cover of the ninth inning goes to Carlton Fisk. And Carlton Fisk's story, and this covers a lot of time. It covers the early 70s all the way to the early 90s. So we have the Cincinnati Reds, we have the Cincinnati Big Red Machine, George Steinbrenner, Nolan Ryan, Kirk Gibson, the 1986 World Series with Bill Buckner and the Mets. There was a lot to cover in this one. So this one I think was almost 2.5 hours long, if not longer. Let's see. 148 minutes. Yeah, it was 2.5 hours long. Print date on you? Barely legible. September 8th, 1994. But yes, this is my Baseball by Ken Burns collection. It's not complete. Sorry. As I mentioned before, they have a 10th inning now out, which covers more modern baseball history, such as the strike in 1994, how Latin America plays into the games, the resurgence of the Yankees under Joe Torre, with Derek Jeter and all them, the Red Sox breaking the curse of the Bambino, but of course even that's out of date now since the Cubs have even broken their curse. But that is what we've got now for... Wow, why does this thing not want to focus? There we go. Guess I just have to touch it every couple of seconds. But yes, that is my baseball part of the collection. Tune in next time for when we tackle... I don't even know how the hell we're going to do the rest of this. We'll tackle the not Nickelodeon stuff then. There you go. How about that? How about that?